your heart does not benefit equally from every minute of walking. At exactly 8 minutes of keeping your heart rate in a specific zone, a biological switch flips, turning your casual stroll into a powerful cardiovascular medicine. Today, we are looking at the precise science of walking for heart health. Most people believe that to protect your heart, you must run 5 miles a day or push your body to the point of complete exhaustion. But clinical research shows that a specific intensity of walking, maintained for a precise duration, is actually the most effective way to strengthen your cardiovascular system. By the end of this video, you will understand the exact mechanics of Zone 2 heart rate training, how to find your personal target numbers, and why 8 minutes is the magic threshold for your blood vessels. We will break down how this simple habit systematically improves your VO2 max and lowers your long-term heart risks. Let us look at the data. What is zone? 2. Heart rate and why it matters. To understand when walking becomes medicine, we have to look at how sports scientists divide exercise intensity into 5 distinct zones. Zone 1 is a very slow walk, like browsing the aisles at a grocery store. Zone 5 is an all-out sprint, where you're gasping for air after 30 seconds. The medical sweet spot for your heart lives exactly in Zone 2. Zone 2 exercise happens when your heart is beating at 65 to 75% of its maximum heart rate. At this exact intensity, your cells are doing something unique. They are using 100% oxygen and pure fat to create energy without producing any significant lactic acid. If you exercise too hard and slide into Zone 3 or Zone 4, your body shifts away from oxygen and starts burning sugar for quick energy. This harder exercise releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. While intense workouts have their place, Zone 2 walking is different. It exercises your heart muscle completely, without placing any harsh stress on your central nervous system or your joints. It is a gentle, sustainable state that allows your cardiovascular system to work at its peak efficiency. Finding your exact Zone 2 range. How do you find your personal Zone 2 numbers? For the vast majority of healthy adults, Zone 2 falls into a range between 120 and 135 beats per minute. However, we can calculate your exact target using a simple math formula. First, find your estimated maximum heart rate by subtracting your age from the number 220. If you are 40 years old, your estimated maximum heart rate is 180 beats per minute. Second, take that maximum number and calculate 65% and 75% of it. For a 40-year-old, 65% of 180 is 117, and 75% is 135. So, if you are 40, your medicine zone is exactly between 117 and 135 beats per minute. You do not need a fancy smartwatch to track this either. You can use the simple talk test. When you are walking in Zone 2, you should be breathing heavily enough that you can hear your breath, but you can still speak a full sentence without pausing for air. If you can sing a song, you are in Zone 1. If you can only gasp out 2 or 3 words at a time, you have pushed into Zone 3. If you want to master these simple health metrics, take a quick second to hit the subscribe button so you never miss our weekly science breakdowns. The 8-minute cardiovascular adaptation timeline. Now, let us look at the clock. When you step outside and start walking at your Zone 2 pace, your heart rate rises into that 120 to 135 range. For the first few minutes, your body is simply adjusting to the movement. But at exactly 8 minutes of continuous, sustained Zone 2 movement, a remarkable cardiovascular timeline begins. At the 8-minute mark, your blood vessels release a natural molecule called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide acts like a chemical signal that tells your blood vessels to relax, widen, and expand. This widening reduces the friction of blood moving through your body, causing your blood pressure to drop instantly. At the same time, your heart's left ventricle, the main chamber responsible for pumping oxygen-rich blood to your body, fills up with more blood than usual. Because it is stretching to hold more blood, it contracts with more force. This increases your stroke volume. meaning your heart pushes out more blood with every single beat. Every minute you walk after this 8-minute threshold acts as direct therapy, physically reshaping your heart muscle to be wider, stronger, and more efficient. The VO2 Max Improvement Curve. One of the greatest benefits of consistently training in the Zone 2 threshold is the measurable improvement in VO2 max. VO2 max refers to the maximum amount of oxygen your body can use during exercise, and it is widely recognized in medical research as one of the strongest predictors of long-term health and lifespan. Many people assume that the only effective way to improve VO2 max is through intense, high-effort interval training that pushes the body to its absolute limits. However, exercise physiology shows a different picture. Low-intensity Zone 2 training, such as steady walking, is actually one of the most powerful tools for building aerobic capacity when done consistently over time. The reason lies in how it affects your mitochondria. Mitochondria are tiny structures inside your muscle cells that function as energy-producing power plants. Their job is to convert oxygen and nutrients into usable energy for your body. When you maintain a steady walking pace that keeps your heart rate in Zone 2, you create the ideal environment for mitochondrial adaptation. Your body responds by increasing the number of mitochondria inside your muscle cells and improving the efficiency of the ones already present. In contrast, extremely intense exercise can sometimes produce high levels of metabolic stress and lactic acid, which may temporarily overwhelm these energy systems. Zone 2. Training avoids this overload and instead focuses on long-term development and efficiency. Over time, this leads to a larger and more efficient mitochondrial network. As your body becomes better at using oxygen, your VO2 max gradually increases. This translates into improved endurance, easier daily movement, and reduced fatigue during physical activity. In simple terms, Zone 2 walking helps you build a stronger internal engine, allowing you to move through life with more energy, stability, and long-term cardiovascular resilience. The minimum effective dose protocol. Knowing the science allows us to build the perfect, most efficient protocol for your busy life. You do not need to walk for hours every day to get these medical benefits. Scientists have discovered the exact minimum effective dose required to protect your heart. To see a measurable change in your heart strength and blood pressure, aim for a minimum of 30 minutes of Zone 2 walking 3 times a week. This gives you a total of 90 minutes of cardiovascular medicine per week. Remember, since it takes 8 minutes for your blood vessels to widen and the medicine to activate, a quick 5-minute walk from your car to an office chair will not trigger these specific adaptations. You need that sustained, continuous 30-minute window. If you want to maximize your results, try to find a route with a slight incline or a hill. Walking uphill allows you to raise your heart rate into that 120 to 135 beats per minute zone easily, without needing to speed up your footsteps or change into running gear. It is an incredibly low-stress habit with a massive medical return. Conclusion: walking is not just a way to get from one room to another. It is a highly adjustable health tool. By tracking your intensity and sustaining your movement past that critical 8-minute mark, you can actively lower your blood pressure, strengthen your heart muscle, and extend your lifespan naturally. Have you ever tried tracking your heart rate during a walk before? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this precise science breakdown helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Next week, we are going to dive deep into exactly what 30 days of consistent exercise does to your heart structure. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.